Good morning, everyone. Good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are, and welcome to this week's weekly energy boost. I am so excited to be here with you. Actually, we're releasing this week's episode a day early so as to allow everyone to take advantage of the full impact and power of this week's energy. As we've been talking about in the last few weeks, the full moon of the month of Aries is one of the most powerful days of the year. This entire week supports every person on the planet, regardless of their awareness, to release the baggage, to detach from the walls and the barriers between us and our fullest potential, the maximum light that we came here to reveal. And so this week we're talking about how to be a light in this world, to find our unique ability. And to that end, I've invited to join us for this week's episode, Yehuda Ashkenazi, who you may remember from both the summer and I think we did an episode in October, 2 of the most downloaded episodes in the history of Weekly Energy Boost, with Yehuda's Sacred Sounds meditation at the end of the episode. There could not be a more perfect week to detach ourselves from the logic and the rationale of the human mind to allow the energy that's flowing freely through the universe to take over and assist us to revealing more of our limitless potential. So Weekly Energy Boost is every week a 7-day spiritual weather forecast where we provide our listeners with the most powerful and practical tools to navigate the coming 7 days. We do that by tapping into the wisdom and tools of Kabbalah and sharing not only those wisdom and tools, but also stories and experiences so that our listeners can use that wisdom and those tools every week of the year, any week of their lives. And because of the power of this week, we wanted to make sure you get an extra day in for this consciousness and for this meditation. And Yehuda is going to lead us there. So thank you, Yehuda, for being with me this Sunday morning.
Thank you for having me.
So we've been talking about, and this is something that I put into my daily meditations throughout this month, actually even before this month, because I know through the teachings of the Kabbalists and through my experience as well, that the whole month before this cosmic window that we call Pesach or Passover, the whole month before is really showing us where our work is, where to focus the that mindset of leave this behind. It doesn't serve me anymore. A lot of the things we talked about in the last few episodes are around thoughts, words, and actions that don't serve me. Maybe they served me in the past, or they provide some sort of defense mechanism for the ego, for self-preservation, but we no longer need them and we want to let them go. And the universe is set up that way to show us what we can leave behind, specifically in this week of Pesach. So I think our listeners would love to hear from you. How can we use our own process to better understand the blockages and the barriers and how to leave them behind?
So I would like to share with the something that Michael Berg shared actually in the past week or so, 2 weeks. The difference between the time of the preparation and the actual day of Rosh Hashanah and the time of Pesach, Passover, the time that we are approaching now. And one of the secrets that he mentioned, it is that Rosh Hashanah, it is the time at the soul level of a birth, giving birth to a new vessel, to a new consciousness, potentially, obviously. We all know, with all the preparations that we're doing in the month of Elul, prior to Rosh Hashanah, the month of Virgo, looking inside, recognizing whatever it is that we need to work on spiritually and to change and to transform, and hopefully coming fully ready for the 2 days that, as we speak a lot about, determine the entire year. And here we come 6 months later to the time of Passover. And what spiritually is really happening in Passover? So looking back in the past 6 months, from the time of the birth of the new consciousness of the new vessel, individually and collectively, Passover is giving us the opportunity, as Michael shared, for renewal. So looking into our lives, the tendency by default to all of us, fortunately, unfortunately, this is the direction and the path that what we truly need to do it is to pay attention of how much do we really utilize the energy that we drew and we received at the time of Rosh Hashanah, and how much do we operate from the old self, the old program. Passover, it's that powerful among many other gifts that we can receive. It is to tap back into that new vessel that was activated at the seed level at the time of Rosh Hashanah. Going back into that choice, into that decision, into that light that we awakened 6 months ago, and reactivate all of this consciousness and all of this energy that manifests like a fuel for the next 6 months till the next Rosh Hashanah.
And how can we use that energy, or consciously or unconsciously? Some of our listeners 6 months ago had no idea that download was available, that we could make those choices. How do we uncover our unique gifts, our unique abilities in general, regardless of, the unique opportunity that we have this week to dig deeper and reveal even more? What are some tips or insights you can share with our listeners about uncovering our unique abilities?
So among many of the tools and directions that we can take, my recommendation always, in this time and any other time, it is going deeper internally. When we approaching a moment of a greater revelation, an opportunity to tap into greater light, the nature it is that also the type of the challenges we will face also will become kind of bigger. At least it will feel, I'm dealing with more pressure, with more stress, I'm dealing with more stuff in life that can manifest as emotions, feelings, thoughts that not necessarily supporting me in the direction that I desire. Going deeper internally, asking my own self each day how much I'm in direction of making all of this noise around me a bit lower, just this volume of the noise around me. How much is the voice internally of my soul, the true navigation system that each one of us have inside of ourselves? How much do I go in the direction to make it much louder? Everything begins with intention. Many times we want to know, so what can I do in order to do that? There are many things we can do. However, we always begin with the intention. Intention, it is something that I encourage all of us to awaken every day. So going back into Rosh Hashanah, and whatever energy any of us was downloading or being unconscious of it, one of the basic instructions spiritually that Rav Ashlag, the founder of the center, is giving us in the teachings of Ten Luminous Emanation, it is realizing that anything that is under the umbrella of spirituality doesn't fall under the category of time. So in one hand, we know the timeline and different energies that entering into the universe and the tools the Kabbalah is giving us to tap into them. In the other hand, we see that time from spiritual perspective is completely an illusion. Meaning that even if I didn't know exactly 6 months ago what's going on energetically, today I can wake up and I can set a very powerful intention to be in a direction, be in a path, like a spiritual goal, before even knowing what can I do in order to achieve it. Having a clear vision that more I'm capable to tune into the voice internally of my soul, more I will be able to be directed with the divine guidance, not just with the thoughts that might come up in my mind, or again, as I mentioned before, my old selves that bring the old desires or different ideas or different opinions. The intention each day as we wake up to receive divine guidance. What do I really want today and each day of my life, each day of the year, each day of the coming week? What do I really want? I begin each day by asking for divine guidance. Divine guidance requires any of us to be willing to let go of any of our own desires that might not be aligned with what my soul should be doing in this coming day or this coming week or this coming month and so on. Letting go of my own desires, being willing to let go of them, and inviting divine guidance, something much bigger than what I can even imagine by myself. This is the way I would go.
For me, it's also the process or the journey of opening up myself to that divine guidance. A big part of it for me was also realizing how easily influenced I am by everyone and everything around me. I noticed at a certain point, thanks to the help of our teacher, Karen Berg, that one of my favorite words, whether I was aware of it or not, was should. And the reality of thinking this is how it should be, I should know better, I should want this, I should be there, I'm here, what's wrong? Realizing that so much of the soundtrack that was playing in my mind, even in a spiritual sense, guiding me toward goals, influencing people, meaning none of it was negative, but it was very externally driven. And the moment that I became aware of that and was able to tune more inward, which if you're like me and you read a lot of books, you listen to a lot of people, it's one of the most difficult things to rebuild that listening muscle so that you can still take in guidance, wisdom, information, and check, like you said, to see if it's in alignment with that divine spark within me. You know, many of us, I think, wait for divine guidance to come from an external source as well. And to realize that there is this quiet, still, for some people it's a voice, for some people it's simply a knowing. Some people feel it physically. Some people might hear a sound, or it might come to them in an auditory form. But to know that it's not something external. And sometimes the hardest part of the journey is to clear out that external noise and really stay focused on that quiet. I'm going to use the word voice, but it's not really the right word. That knowing, that understanding that is always there, that's always running there. And we've talked in different episodes about angels and guides and different things that different tools, different avenues that we can access. I believe that that's also a part of of why the sacred sounds meditations are so powerful is because it helps us clear out the unnecessary mental chatter, the self-critic, the voices that interfere, well-meaning voices, by the way. We're not talking about somebody or someone trying to manipulate or some evil intention. It's simply a product of being a soul in a human body, that noise is there. And to really be focused on clearing out that noise, whether the noise is historical, this is how we were raised, this is what we were taught, or if it's some pressure that we have, a story that we generated about the way things should be, or maybe there's a timeline that we're being driven by and we're not meeting those goals or those deadlines the way that we should or we think we should. And I feel like doing these meditations, which is not always, I think I've shared in previous episodes, I had a lot of resistance to meditation initially. And for me, that was a huge sign that it was something really important for me to develop a connection to, because I knew my body didn't want me to embrace it. It was really important in an illogical way for me to be connected to it. Maybe we can, before we get into the meditation itself, I would love to hear from you a little bit about the importance of, I'm going to say it in a funny way, but like disconnecting from the logic, the judgment, even reading about other people's spiritual journeys or taking lessons from the Kabbalists. How do we identify or tap into that? What's the best way that we can quiet the noise so that we can be deeply tuned into what's in alignment for us and the next steps in revealing our potential?
So I want, first of all, to apologize to our audience of not necessarily being so practical about your question.
Okay. We have other guests who are practical. We're here to hear from you.
Okay, good. So I know by default, I've been teaching over 24 years, and by default, the natural state of the mind to all of us, we connect with things that make sense to us. One of the things I've learned from our teachers, the Rav and Karen Berg, it is 90% of the time what makes sense, not necessarily connected to the light, and what doesn't make sense, it is connected to the light. So if by default my mind is being pulled, being stimulated, I feel I understand, I feel attraction to certain thing that makes sense to me, not necessarily it will be something that will help me to achieve the next phase of my soul transformation. So back into your question. So not being practical about it at the moment, and then we will do the meditation, that this is one of the most practical practices to practice achieving those states of mind, to move from the intellect into much deeper state that exists within all of us. The nature of our brain, the nature of the system that we're living by, physically, not only spiritually, and we know that everything in the physical follows spiritual laws, but the nature, it will be always to bring each one of us back into the familiar space. Meaning that if my mind at the moment 85% works with the intellect logical system, there will be 10-15% of moments that I will experience something that doesn't fall under the path of my intellect and logic, and some of it I will be able to feel the truth in it. something that I heard, something that I experienced that makes me feel different, makes me feel in another state of experience, makes me feel good, makes me feel more connected to truth, makes me feel being in a space of where there is no judgment, where there is love, the light of the Creator. The tendency is that it will take few minutes, or few hours, or few days, or few weeks, that I will go back into the old self, into the old program, back into the intellect, back into the logic. So this kind of a process or idea of homeostasis, that everything will pull me back into the old familiar state of thinking, of perception, of my spiritual work, my physical work, my interaction with my wife, with my kids, with the world, going back into the same individual that I was before, certain level of experience that allowed me to feel different, and eventually going back to be the same like I was before the experience. To be able to break through, to be able to manifest transformation that lasts forever, that it is not a transformation that I feel and then unfortunately later on going back into the old ways. It takes going back into what I said every day to set up my intention. Second, when I find a way, and for me, meditation, it is a big part. Studying wisdom, it's another part. So we can find different practical ways that helping us to achieve those states. But the consistency and the practice, it is a crucial steps in allowing the transformation to be kind of fully accomplished, to help me to move to another phase. And it doesn't mean that I achieved the complete transformation, but if I moved from using my intellect side 80% of the time of my life, and after 3-6 months of practicing with intention and tools like the meditation into 75%, 5% difference make a huge difference in the way I experience my life, the way that I feel about myself, the way I feel about others, the way that my mind perceives different challenges I'm going through, the way I'm capable to tap into the gifts that I have inside of me. So the transformation is gradual. So in one hand, not expecting full transformation because of certain practice that I do. In other hand, knowing that if I'm not consistent with a certain, whatever practice that works for each one of us to achieve certain level of change internally, without consistency, it doesn't accumulate enough power to make the transformation happen. So going back into the intention, and I'm adding the consistency of certain practice. The same like you're going to the gym and you're not expecting to feel or to look different in the next 2 weeks just because of one practice. The same thing, it goes spiritually. And what's fascinating, it is that getting into even the structure of the physical brain, with all the more than 100 billion neurons in our brain, and the pathways and the neurotransmitters, and knowing that the moment that you practice and you make something consistent, and especially when it comes into spiritual level, it starts to develop and to help you physically to be able to tap into another level of perception. You allow another level of energy that already, as you mentioned before, Elisheva, exists inside of you to become more awakened, more accessible, more available. In the end of the day, it is all about accessing those energies that already exist inside of you.
And I want Yehuda, thank you for that. I want to call attention to something you said and connect it to how we opened up this week's episode, right? Every week we try to give our listeners consciousness and tools that are related to the week. And when you were here, I think it was in October, we set a very specific intention with that meditation, which again, even though we connected it to that specific week of the year between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, where transformation is so much more easily accessible, we focused on opening our heart to connect to that already developed and existing spark within each one of us. This week, we really, the gates are open, or the universe has really created the possibility for limitless transformation, limitless evolution, or I would even say illogical growth and change in a relatively short period of time, that which could take us months in any other, or years under any other conditions. The universe is really supporting us to do illogical, radical change. And for that reason, we wanted to invite everybody to develop this practice this week. The more, I think one of the beautiful things about a meditation, a sacred sounds experience like this, combined with the cosmic window, is that it creates, or it amplifies, I would say, it amplifies the impact of the meditation and the intention infinitely. And so in a minute, I'm going to turn the mic over to Yehuda. You can already begin to get comfortable. If you're listening now for the first time, you can grab a blindfold, and maybe if you're listening in the car, you want to pause and wait until you can sit comfortably or lay down and listen with earphones or AirPods for the ultimate experience. The goal is again to combine wisdom and tools with the energy of this week. And by the way, you could be listening to this in December or August. It doesn't really matter. But because as our teacher Rav Berg used to say, the vault is open, right? You can grab as much energy as you can, this energy of freedom, of releasing the chains that are holding us back, of silencing the inner critic, the ego, the opponent voice, anything that's standing between us and the revelation and expression of our fullest potential. So that's really my intention for reserving this week to have Yehuda on the podcast and to share this experience with as many people as possible, so that not only individually we can experience a quantum leap in our own journeys and in our own individual revelation of our unique gifts, but that the world will experience, because of our work, a critical mass of shift, of transformation, of elevation, so that not only those of us who are listening right now can experience it, but all of the souls who are connected to us will experience a shift toward the light within, toward the light in the world, and inside everyone in the world. And we will experience dramatic and radical change on the planet as well. So with that intention, I'm going to remind everybody, you can listen to the meditation as a standalone episode. After you hear the full episode, we're also going to post the meditation alone. You can listen to it on anywhere you listen to podcasts, as well as our website, weeklyenergyboost.com. Anywhere you can find the Weekly Energy Boost. Want to make sure that you remember also that you can send us a message, that you can share, like, rate and review this episode. You can also dig into our archives. This is actually the third time Yehuda has been on Weekly Energy Boost. He did an episode in the summer for healing as well. And I'm sure we'll have him back again to share more of the wisdom and tools that he shares so beautifully. So again, let's get comfortable. Blindfold, earphones, and please, I really encourage everyone to do this on a regular basis, especially for this week, but to bring the Sacred Sounds meditations, which you can also learn about on weeklyenergyboost.com, as well as in the show notes, so that we can really create a dramatic and powerful shift for ourselves individually and for the world. Take it over, Yehuda.
Thank you, Elisheva. As far as the structure of the meditation, the experience, the first few minutes, we use an active meditation using the support of certain frequencies and the sounds to support slowing down our brain waves, entering into a deeper state. We begin using ancient Kabbalistic tools, meditative tools, inviting into our space the support of souls from above. I always invite my guides and the support of the archangels. We use the divine names, certain divine names, and using the intention that we set at the beginning. I will give you a few minutes then of a quiet time just to allow the energy within the space to continue to do some work internally inside of you. And in the end, I will count from 1 to 5, and I will invite you to take off the blindfold if you use, and then to open your eyes. Here we go. So as you close your eyes, you begin bringing your attention into your breath, breathing in through your nose, holding your breath, and exhaling through your mouth as you breathe in. Bring your attention, feel the sensation as the air enters into your body, and as you exhale, bring your attention to the air of your mouth. Have the sensation, feel as the air leaves your body. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Hold your breath. Slowly exhale through your mouth. And think about the number 3 times in your head. Does the number 3 appear and disappear? We're going to bring the body into a state of relaxation by scanning the energy within from the top of our head all the way down to our toes, holding one intention, releasing any pressures, any tensions along the way. Bring your attention to the top of your head, the space of your crown, the Keter, as we call it in Kabbalah. Feel in your own way the flow of the energy within this space, and slowly move the attention from the crown space to your eyes, your eyelids, and release any pressures. From your eyes moving to your mouth, and release any tensions down to the area of your neck, your shoulders. Drop your shoulders, your hands. Release any pressures. Bring Bring your attention to the area of your chest. Allow your chest to open at ease. Down to your abdomen. With your mind's eyes, take a moment to scan your internal organs, your heart, your lungs, your kidneys, your liver. Release any pressures, any tensions. Move your attention to the area of your upper back, the lower back, the base of your spine, your legs, all the way down to your feet, your toes, and release any tensions, any pressures along the way. Feel how your body becomes lighter and lighter. Feel the energy inside, the way it flows from the top of your head all the way down to your toes. And now take a deep breath in through your nose. Hold your breath. Slowly, slowly exhale through your mouth. Think about the number 2, 3 times in your head as the number 2 appear and disappear. Starting relaxing your mind. The easiest way to relax your mind it is to use the capacity and the power of your mind to move, to travel through time and through space. The way you do that, think about a place that makes you feel safe. See yourself in this place right now. This place can be from the time of your childhood, from the time of the present, from any phase of your life journey. Your mind, unlike your body at the moment, your mind can travel through time and space. See yourself in this place. Expand your mind even more. See the details, the objects, the colors, even smells. See and feel yourself being there, and allow the same feeling that this place gives you, awakens in you. Activated inside of you right now. You feel safe. This state of mind, you can be in few places at the same time. I invite you to join me as we project ourselves most powerful portal that exists according to the ancient Kabbalists in the city of Jerusalem, place known by the name the Holy of Holies, the energy center of this universe, the most powerful portal which connects between the physical and the spiritual dimensions, the energy that is being awakened within this space begins elevating you above the illusion of physicality, the illusion of time, into the dimension of your soul. Your soul, the divine spark in you. The unlimited energy inside of you. Energy in you which holds the map, the direction for your purpose, holds the energy and the wisdom to accomplish it. As the ancient Kabbalah is teaching us that this portal in the city of Jerusalem, the Holy of Holies, exists as well within your heart space. Bring your attention into the space of your heart and feel the energy within this space. Feel the energy opens up and grows and expands in the space of your heart. Directing you to connect with much deeper space within yourself, much more elevated space, and deeper you go, and more elevated state you reach, the more quiet it becomes. The confusion of the external part of reality, the noise, becomes more and more quiet. This space allows the voice of your soul becoming louder and clearer. Take another deep breath in through your nose. Hold your breath. And as you're slowly exhaling through your mouth, think about the number 1 in your head 3 times. As the number 1 appear and disappear. And allow your mind to enter into even deeper state. Within this deep space, I would like to call in and to invite, to ask my guides to come in, to bring their light, their support and protection to each and every one of us. Open yourself to feel the additional energy coming into your space, surrounding you, protecting you, supporting you. I want to call in and to invite the support of the archangels, the angel Michael, the angel Gabriel, the angel Uriel and the angel Raphael, the healer, to come in to our space. Open yourself to feel their light coming into your space, their energy, their vibration surrounding you. Envision bright light that shines from above your head. This light begins to move down like a spiral surrounding your physical body. It goes all the way 6 feet around your physical body. It's the light of the Creator. Feel the energy around you. Feel the energy in you. See a string of light that comes from the space of your crown down to the space of your heart. Bring your attention to the space of your heart. Envision yourself within the space of your heart. In front of you there is a door that will act as a portal to support you entering, teleporting into much deeper space within yourself. We're going to use the divine names of this month as the key to open up this door. I will mention the sounds which will activate the vibration, and we're going to breathe in and out through the sounds of the divine names. Yud, breathe in. Hey, breathe out. Vav, breathe in. Hey, breathe out. Daled, breathe in. Hey, breathe out. See the door in front of you opens up, and see and feel yourself walking through this door, and you move from one space, one dimension, into deeper space, deeper dimension within your heart. Within this space there is only light, there is only love, there is no judgment. Within this space there is the energy, the wisdom, the strength that you need to connect, to achieve a new state of freedom. Freeing your mind from any thought, any memory from this lifetime, from any other lifetime, which is pulling you back, which is holding you back. Any energy that keeps you living smaller than the life you meant to live. Energy that begins helping you clear anything that is limiting you. Clearing from deep inside of you anything that doesn't serves you in moving in your life into the next phase of activating, tapping to the unique light, the light that you truly are. Stay quietly within this space. Keep focus on the light within this space as it expands and expands. Keep focusing on the love within this space. Keep focusing on your intention to clear anything that makes you live small, and allow the most inner power and voice in you become louder, to expand, and keep focusing on your breathing for the next few minutes. your breath and slowly exhale through your mouth. Direct the energy, the breath into the space deep down inside of your heart. Place your left hand on your heart and the right hand on top of the left, making a physical contact with your heart. And feel the energy within this space in you. How powerful, how expansive, how pure. Your heart is your inner temple, sacred space. Your healer. Talk to your heart, ask your heart. To always be your guide. As you exhale through your mouth, direct, allow the energy within your heart to shine to the world around you. Direct this energy and vision like a string of green light that comes out of your heart. You can direct it to anyone that you desire. See this green light enters into the hearts of those you desire to share this light with. Asking this energy to guide these people, these individuals you're sending this light to. Help them clear any form of energy that keeps them living smaller than the way they're meant to live their lives, creating the space within them, giving them the spiritual link to plug in, to connect, to begin to recognize, to know their power, the divine energy that exists within them, a door to their soul dimension. Deep breath in with the intention to begin bringing back the energy into your physical space and physical body. And as you're slowly exhaling through your mouth, start to bring the sensation and to feel the energy back in your physical body. You can slowly move your toes, Gently, you can roll your shoulders. Softly, you can move your neck from side to side. Count from 1 to 5, and at 5 I will invite you to take off the blindfold if you use one, and to slowly open your eyes to come back fully to the physical body, physical space. Then we'll take another minute or two to stay within this quiet space with an intention to ground the energy and to reflect back over your experience. 1, 2, 3, 4. Take one more deep breath in through your nose. Hold your breath a bit longer. And exhale with a sigh. And 5. You're welcome to take off the blindfold and to slowly open your eyes back into the physical space. Take your time, using an intention to ground the energy and to reflect back over your experience.
Samut gate suha Tiata om bikansi Raza samut gate suha Tiata om bikansi Raza samut gate suha Tiata om bikansi Raza samut gate suha
Okay, welcome back everyone. Thank you so much for joining our space, bringing your unique light and spark and energy